Sahara's secret. What if the world you know is the wrong version of Earth? What if the Sahara Desert was never a desert? What if it stayed green forever? For thousands of years, the Sahara was not sand. It was a complex world of lakes, rivers, grasslands, plants, and permanent human settlements. Everywhere we find cave paintings and ancient carvings, they show rivers and animals that should not exist in a desert. Giraffes, hippos, fish. This desert was a living Eden. Imagine standing there 10,000 years ago. You would hear water. You would hear birds, not wind hitting sand dunes. This means the Sahara has a hidden past, and we are only beginning to understand how deep that past really was. Around 6,000 years ago, Earth tilted just a little bit differently. Monsoon patterns shifted, the climate slowly changed, the rains began to stop, and this paradise dried. The lakes died, the rivers disappeared, the grasslands gave up, and the Sahara that we know today is only the tomb of what existed before. We're living on top of the ruins of a lost world, and the desert is the sand that sealed their story. Now, let's imagine something different. We keep everything the same, except one variable. The rains never stopped. This single detail would change the entire direction of human history. Instead of one green fertile crescent in the Middle East, we would have two massive fertile crescents. The earliest agriculture could have happened not only in Mesopotamia, but inside a green Sahara. The Sahara could have become the original engine of civilization. It could have been the heart of humanity. If the Sahara stayed green for thousands of additional years, humans would have had a larger, richer platform for agriculture, culture, and invention. More food, more population, more complexity, more competition, more knowledge exchange. We might have discovered mathematics earlier. We might have built complex monuments at a much earlier timeline. The pyramids of Giza might not have been the only pyramids. They could have been just one local expression of a global era of stone engineering. Imagine hundreds of pyramids across a green continent. A green Sahara would not only change Africa, it would rebalance the entire circulation of the planet. Europe would become wetter and more forested. The Middle East could become grassland. Rain patterns would shift across Asia. Even the Arctic could be slightly colder. Our current modern climate is the result of Sahara being a giant heat engine that pushes air masses. But if that engine was green and moist instead of dry, Earth would be a different planet. And then, the geopolitical question. If Sahara stayed green, would Europe still become the center of world power? Probably not. With a green Sahara, Africa would have had a massive early head start. Huge cities, huge trade networks, massive ancient knowledge networks. History would not be centered on the Mediterranean empires. It would be centered on green Africa. We could have lived in a world with multiple superpowers, balanced against each other, trading, competing, co-evolving. We might be speaking totally different languages today. We might be living in cities that stand in places that are now only sand. And that is the alternate Earth, the Earth where the Sahara never dried. The Earth with a different timeline and a different idea of what civilization is. Sometimes, to understand our current world, we need to imagine the versions that could have existed. Because Earth is never one story. It is millions of stories. Only one of them became real, but another version might have been much more beautiful. Close your eyes, think about that world, and let your mind drift slowly into what could have been.